Well, Coach, while much of the country is struggling under cold temps and some of that white stuff, no such troubles here at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Denver Broncos and the Miami Dolphins. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Check 56. I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take you to school.
A first carry for Kenyon Drake. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 24-yard line.
Alert. Switch. 80. Hey, Haywood.
From the gun, it's Rosen. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. And that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed. And they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
A first carry for the Clemson man, Wayne Gallman. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. In on the tackle, the former All-Pro Chris Harris. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. And they'll throw it with Rosen. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Rosen will throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Bradley Chubb in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Sanders' kick is good. And the opening drive for the Dolphins yields 3. Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
Lock and the Broncos going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now Locke. Flush to his right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Throwing his Lock on 3rd down. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down. So hang on, a big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of 4th down, 1st down.
Well, so much for winning the down you put a lot of emphasis on, because 3rd down is key for offense and defense. Instead, you're going to stay on the field and start a new set of downs.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And he gets it down to the 32. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down. Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time, that's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. First carry of the game here for Royce Freeman. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And he'll give it here to his running back. About 3 yards there to the 27.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now the first carry here for Phillip Lindsay, and they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
The kick by McManus is good, and that will tie us at 3-3. So a return of serve, so to speak, here on the second drive of our game as they respond to that opening field goal with 3 of their own.
I like that. Go a little tennis on me.
I know you. You like to mix it up with sports.
They crack a forehand back at him. They get a backhand. What was the return on?
It was a backhand.
I like that.
Really good backhand.
With some nice top spin on the whole thing. I love it. Almost a mirror image when you really get down to it. I thought that was pretty good stuff.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
Check your hot read. Come in, get wide.
Now on first down, Drake again. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
It's a loss of 2. Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 39-yard line.
3-3, a tight one after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter from Miami. It's the Dolphins with the football as they've got it 2nd down and 12. On 2nd and 12, Rosen. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. And not a blitzer, but still able to get there from a strong safety position.
Yeah, I think that was a great example of what they call football IQ. Recognizing he was open, had a chance, and went ahead and got to the quarterback.
So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. From midfield, here's Locke. And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit and it forced an incompletion.
Throwing now is Locke. He's going to rifle one deep. It's caught at the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way, oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
So here, the men in charge are going to be looking at whether or not the receiver had possession of the ball as he went out of bounds.
And they have to make sure that the receiver got both feet down in bounds as well.
Broncos with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They've got a 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield.
3rd and goal, they decided to throw for it, but how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open, left him nowhere to go with the football, had to absorb the sack.
Oh, this ball hangs out to the right. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
It's been a nightmare season. You're well under 500. Your defense hasn't really kept in a lot of games. And now it's spilling over to the kicking game. That's 3 points you've got to be able to bank on.
Rosen and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23.
Check hot route. Hot.
Drake will start the drive on the ground. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 39 yards there, a big one. I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley.
Brought down back at the 43-yard line.
180. Right there, 56. It's out time. It's out time, guys. It's out time.
A good pickup. They get 8, but it's third down now.
That's a gain of 8. Brings up 3rd and 8.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now it's Rosen. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the first down. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
A 47-yard attempt.
Sanders' kick is good. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Let's go.
25-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Throwing on first down is Locke. And he's got his man on the out route. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
At their 48-yard line.
A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. Buying time to his left. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 11 yards there, first down.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a first down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On first down, Locke. He's going to fire one deep. This is caught inside the 15. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
Let's go now. 30 base. Watch tight end.
On first and 10, here's Locke. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on third down. And again this time to the tailback. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. This will be caught at about the 6. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. And they've now made 2 trips to the red zone and still looking for their first touchdown.
Not able to punch it in, and if you're on defense, your confidence is sky high. Because mentally, you're saying, hey, you're in the red zone. We're thinking we're giving up 3. We just want to give up 6. In this case, they end up not giving up the touchdown at all. They've got to feel great about what they got done.
Let's see what you got. Spawn! Hug. No. Joker. Out.
Now on first down, he's going to sneak it. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half.
Check 56. Hey, watch the slant.
On second down, it's Drake. A big play there just before halftime. 57 yards. So all of a sudden with that run, maybe now a chance for points here.
It's a total mind shift, isn't it? Because what you were saying before was, hey, let's just get out of here, get the half over with. Instead, we can get some points now.
Here's Gallman. And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or 2.
At the 41-yard line.
On second and 12, Rosen is going to let this go for the end zone. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. Trying to get it that time to Stills, and it's third down. So on third down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game, as we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards, as he'll get this only back to the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
Now Rocky wants the football. It's out.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, the teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Devontae Parker, the intended receiver, and that'll make it third down. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now Rosen looking to throw. And that is incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
They go play action here on first down. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. From the 32 now. Here's first and 10.
Let's put him on the buses. Let's put it.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Xavier Howard up to make the tackle. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. That second down play nets a -4.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. He's got his tight end Fant, and he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 45-yard line. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. First and 10. Lock going to throw. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger-happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time he fell incomplete. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 19, and his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Rosen and the Dolphins now with a first and 10 at their own 23. They'll start the drive with Drake. And an alley to run. There he goes left side. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Kenyon Drake, 77 yards. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Now Rosen will lead them up here to go for 2.
Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
From the shotgun, it's Rosen. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed, near the goal line, on a two-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
What we got?
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Deshaun Hamilton hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Broncos cut into that lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And, Charles, you'd have to think this is where you want to start taking some time off the clock.
Oh, definitely, because you got the lead, right? You take a good look up there, and you say, okay, what do we need to do here? Well, you're not in full-out protect mode. You want to make sure you run it, throw it safe, take some time off, and eat it up.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9 at the 26-yard line.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Hug.
Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. It's complete to Parker, left side. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 11 yards there, first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Running from the shotgun with Drake. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Now a dump off here complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
80.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Rosen looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Parker. 12 yards there and a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Rosen now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Gallman will run it. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And he'll be taken down at the 26. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Now Gallman. And this time they were ready for him as he's taken down at the line of scrimmage. It's Kareem Jackson making the play defensively. Back now in Miami. It's Dolphin football. It's also Dolphin lead to begin quarter number 4. Throwing on 2nd down. Rosen stepping up. He'll try and run. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave them with a 3rd down. This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down.
Check nickel. Check 9.
Here's Rosen to throw. And he's got it. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Kenny Stills, his second touchdown on the season. The Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Sanders on for the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
Watch the slant, watch the slant.
Clock now on first down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Eric Rowe that time able to knock that pass away. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's...
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Christian Wilkins. He's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. So it's third and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. On third and long, it's Locke. Airing it out for Hamilton. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's fourth down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
At their own 27-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They had the double-digit lead at halftime, and they have continued to roll. They're hard to stop right now.
I think what we're seeing is an example of a team that has it figured out in this ball game. And whatever the adjustments are the defense has made, hasn't slowed them, hasn't phased them at all. They either anticipated them or they've been so far ahead that they just can't catch up.
Now it's just a search to add to the lead. Taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
But that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction, and when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's Rosen. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. The 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they didn't get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Now, there are two scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
So naturally they will decline it. They got the first down anyway on the play.
Who needs a penalty when you picked up the first down through hard work and effort anyway? First down.
Now Drake, and he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
On the toss play, this is Drake. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough.
Right there, 56. All day, baby, all day.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Running, it's Drake. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll run with Drake. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
This is where coaches have to have spent a lot of time going over situations with their players, because him getting tackled there is not the worst thing in the world. You're going to run more plays, right? Clock's going to...
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Devontae Parker, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Now Rosen will lead them up here to go for 2. Now Rosen toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Should have been picked. Probably doesn't matter on a 2-point conversion, but still, as a former DB, you want to grab that ball when you can, don't you?
You certainly do, and don't say it, because I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
What am I thinking?
You know I know what you're thinking. Well, if he'd had hands, he'd be playing on offense. Right?
That's true. You've said that before. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Locke. Sutton reeling it in on the left side. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there and a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Locke now on 1st down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 43. Now Locke again. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Locke throwing on target to Fant. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Jerome Baker right there in coverage. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Dolphins' defense is able to hold.
Hurry, hurry! Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step it up. Showing it.
On 1st down, Drake. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. That really sets them back. A loss of 6.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On the toss, Drake going left. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds.
Check 56. Get the ball. Check 90.
And Rosen's actually going to throw it here. Trying to lay one up deep. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
Brings up 3rd down and 15.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 15. Rosen will throw. He'll set up the screen to Drake. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Well, I know at points in this one you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for the Dolphins, it's a critical win for them as it gets them to 9-6 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, it's another loss as they now fall to 4-11. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.